A product improvement question is meant to evaluate your ability to think in a structured manner in an ambiguous environment. Its main goal is to determine if you can discover your users' pain points and address them with meaningful product improvement ideas. Interviewers like to ask product improvement interview questions as a way to evaluate your ability to articulate what the product is and the problem it solves for the different user segments, identify the pain points that the users are facing in the product, brainstorm creative solutions to improve the product, and evaluate your options and set up a priority product roadmap. Now here is a step-by-step guide for answering product improvement interview questions. Step 1 is to describe the product and clarify the scope of the question. To start off in the right direction, you need to explain your understanding of the product, what it does, who uses it, and how they use it. Make sure that the interviewer agrees with your understanding of the product. Once that is done, you want to make sure that you understand the question very clearly and the question is defined properly. For example, for clarity of the definition of, let's say, improvement, does it refer to more usage, more revenue, or something else? Step 2 is choosing a particular metric. Now, choosing a metric that you are going to improve to achieve your goal is a very important step in answering product improvement questions. Make sure you explain the reasoning behind why you chose that particular metric and that the interviewer is comfortable with the path you are going to take. Ideally, you want to select a metric that you think is either strategically important to the product or a metric that the product is having problems with. Here are a few key areas that you can pick your metric from. 1. Revenue. Is the revenue too low? Can you actually think about how you can improve it? 2nd, active users. Can you actually grow the number of active users? 3rd, new users. Can you increase the number of users on the platform? 4th is around engagement. Can you increase the engagement with the product? And 5th is around retention. Can you reduce the percentage of users turning away from the product? Next step is to list the user groups and identify the use cases and the pain points. At this step, you want to go over the different user groups that are the users of the product that you are improving. You want to choose user groups that are distinct and have unique characteristics. Explain their characteristics and define what makes them unique. Finally, choose a user group you would like to focus on. This will be the user group that you will be improving the product for. The interviewer will want to see how you can empathize with the users of a particular product. Hence, next you will provide a list of use cases that you think are currently underserved. Feel free to ask for a minute to think about these use cases before actually blabbering out the answer. One way to come up with a list of use cases would be to think about the user journey from the beginning to the end. By going over the whole customer experience, you can understand the needs of the customers and the areas that might need improvement. Once this is done, wrap up your use cases by prioritizing them based on some sort of a criteria. For example, the criteria could be impact or the importance to the user. The criteria could be a potential value to the company, or the criteria could be implementation effort. Remember not to mix use cases with solutions. You are not solving at this stage. Next step is to list out your solutions and evaluate them. Now, once you have a list of prioritized use cases, it's time to start brainstorming solutions that solves the pain points you have discussed in the previous step. This is your chance to show your ability to think creatively about new and practical ideas that make products better and make the users happier. You can again ask for a minute with the interviewer to think about a few solutions. Now here you want to list at least 2 to 3 solutions that are helping you achieve your goal. Make sure that the solutions you are listing are solving for the use cases you described in the previous step and they are implementable. Even if the implementation is hard, there should still be a path to implement them. When thinking about new solutions, try listing a couple of ideas that use some of the new emerging technologies such as machine learning or mixed reality to show your willingness to adopt new technologies. Post this, your next step is to present your evaluation and execution skills by evaluating your solutions with different sets of criteria. For example, impact on the customer experience, frequency of usage, impact on the business, implementation cost, and time to develop each solution. Once this is done, you need to actually prioritize your solutions based on your evaluation. As a product manager, you are always dealing with trade-offs and different ideas proposed by different members of your organization. Know that a great product manager is able to evaluate ideas without any bias and develop a roadmap with the right set of priorities. Lastly, it's important to summarize your answer. Make sure to provide a quick summary of what you have accomplished during the interview. First, identify or highlight the goal of the improvement, then briefly mention what user group and use cases you were focusing on. After that, discuss the solutions you are proposing to achieve your goal, and finally, explain the metrics that you will use to measure the impact of your suggested improvements. Alright, with that said, let's see an implementation of the above framework for product improvement questions in a mock interview setting.
Hey, how are you doing today?
I'm good.
So, we know that LinkedIn is the most used social media tool among the professional community. What big improvements would you make if you were the product lead at LinkedIn?
Alright, so just to make sure that I got the question correctly here, basically I'm a product lead at LinkedIn and I need to ideate on how can we actually think about improving LinkedIn, correct?
Yes.
Alright, give me a few minutes to actually go ahead and devise my approach.
Sure.
Perfect. So let me walk you through how I am going to approach the problem here. Firstly, we'll try to understand the product and our requirement for the day. Specifically, what is the meaning of the term improvement here? Post that, we'll actually identify what user groups that we are trying to focus on today, and then we'll prioritize a few user types. After that, I'm actually planning on understanding the pain points of that particular user group. What are the issues that they face when they actually use LinkedIn today, and post that we'll ideate on certain solutions. Sounds good?
That sounds great. Please go ahead.
Alright, first things first, before even asking any clarifying question, let me explain my understanding of LinkedIn so as to make sure that we are sort of aligned here. So, LinkedIn is a social network that allows professionals and working class to develop their own professional network of people. It has various features which we can divide into multiple categories. Now, the first one is networking, where users can search, find, and send requests to relevant professionals. The second is the newsfeed itself, where users can actually create and consume relevant content useful for professional or personal development. At the same time, right next to the newsfeed, users are also allowed to create corporate pages or profiles for their corporate communication. The next one is around a job marketplace that LinkedIn is. So LinkedIn today boosts recruitment by allowing people to find and apply to job offers on one part, and at the same time it allows a headhunter to identify relevant profiles open to job opportunities. Then there is a messenger which allows for private communication between professionals. Another important feature is LinkedIn Learning, where users can upload or consume videos for new learnings around industry best practices, around new concepts, and around knowledge bases regarding any specific professional levels or any specific professional topic. Overall, I think LinkedIn's business model is based on premium accounts, which is job seekers, HRs, and sales, and on advertisements. Lastly, I think LinkedIn today is at a better place than its competitors like Glassdoor or Indeed or Blind because of the fact that it has a 360-degree solution and becomes a one-stop shop for all professionals. In fact, it has the biggest professional network globally, which makes its impact for all user types in a big way. And at the same time, when it comes to networking, sharing experiences, and job opportunities, I don't think there is any other solution in the industry. Now, does this sound like something you had in mind when you were thinking about LinkedIn, or do you want me to focus on something else?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Alright, so now coming to the question of how to improve LinkedIn, I have a few clarifying questions here. First, is the goal to improve the entire platform or a specific feature that you're thinking here?
Oh, I would like to focus on LinkedIn Job Marketplace product.
Oh, okay, the job marketplace, perfect. Now, is the improvement channel specific? Do we want to focus on web or do we want to focus on mobile here?
Oh, let us go ahead with mobile since it has higher reach as compared to web.
Okay, perfect. Now, if you think about the industry today, a big chunk of jobs are applied via the LinkedIn job marketplace. Now, at the same time, as the network of professionals on LinkedIn it grows bigger with each passing day, companies and HRs will get more engaged with using LinkedIn to find the right talent. So my next question is, what exactly is the objective of improvement here? Is it engagement? Is it increase in revenue? Is it acquisition?
Oh, I think as an organization, we have been in a growth mode. In the growth mode, engagement and retention for monetization are topmost goals for our company. Hence, the goal is to improve LinkedIn's retention since more retention means more engagement which funnels down to more revenue for the company via ad views and moving to premium membership.
Alright, I think that makes complete sense. So I think next step is for us to actually go ahead and identify the user segment for our goal. So I think we can divide our users into 1. Job seekers, 2nd, HR professionals who are posting jobs, 3rd are the sales and marketing folks, and 4th is around ad agencies or organizations themselves. Now, based on these, do you have a specific user segment you want me to focus on?
Now, I think I would let you decide here.
Okay, that's interesting. I think based on these 4, I would like to focus on the job seeker here, since that's the key reason for LinkedIn's networking capability, as well as at the same time I think it aligns with the company's mission the most. We also know that the job seeker community is one of the biggest on LinkedIn, so any change made to this user segment will have the biggest impact to users and to the LinkedIn business itself. Okay?
Sure, go ahead.
Perfect. Alright, next let's see how a job seeker uses LinkedIn jobs today. Now, for any job seeker, the most important aspect is to identify relevant job opportunities. I think today this can be achieved in multiple ways. 1, they can manually search for jobs, the obvious one. 2nd, they can view the LinkedIn job recommendations. 3rd, they can also view jobs posted by a network connection, which is their first or second level connections basically. The next step is around job application. Now here the job seeker, they open up the job landing page for more details. Now either the job seeker can use the easy apply feature if it's available, which is there in some of the job postings on LinkedIn, or they will be routed to the job poster's company's landing page for the job application. I think this could be something like Smart Recruiter or Workday, etc. Now at the same time, job seeker can actually save jobs to a view or apply later, and they can also enable job alert for a specific job result based on filters like location, job title, experience level, company, etc. Now, I think some of the pain points I believe here are: 1, users have to create new resumes fitting as per the job needs when applying in multiple companies. 2nd, there is no way for them to get updates on application on LinkedIn itself. For example, what stage has the application reached? 3rd, I don't think there is enough information at the header level of job postings, and hence the user has to open and read through the complete job description for each job. The next one is post the job application, write interview prep is another challenge for job seekers. Another one is I think post the application, the overall job process is spread across multiple applications outside of LinkedIn. For example, they get contacted via Zoom, via phone, via Google Meet, Microsoft Teams for all rounds of interviews. And at the same time, they have to use email to get the offer. They have to use DocuSign to sign the various documents and contracts, etc. So I think we have a decent enough bucket of use cases here. So now, considering these pain points, I would like to prioritize the top 2 pain points here based on customer impact and business value. So in my opinion, point number 2, where the user does not have enough updates on the application, and point number 4, where right interview prep is another challenge for job seekers. I think these two is what I want to focus on. Next, I would like to list out certain solutions, and post that we'll think about rating those solutions. The first one for point number 2, which is around users getting update about their application. I think there can be certain solutions here. First, we can build a workflow by integrating with HR systems of organizations like Workday or Smart Recruiters, so that users get notifications of all application-based changes and they can track progress on a timely basis. Second, we can create an overall better workflow for application tracking within LinkedIn and motivate HRs to update the LinkedIn profiles. Here we need to incentivize them by sharing better recommendations of job profiles based on how frequently they update job status for each candidate in LinkedIn. Also, we need to give HR option to send status feedback for multiple candidates for same job. I think this is a win-win for both the job seeker and the hiring managers or the HRs. Again, a notification feature can be added from a user's perspective whenever there is an update. Next, we can use machine learning to predict the percentage chances of a particular application moving forward versus not for a candidate based on the time of his application and the trend captured on LinkedIn from HRs of the applied company in terms of speed and feedback given to candidate from past job applications. Another one could be we can actually build a rating and review process for each company, which might give an opportunity to both the job seeker and the HR to share their experiences with specific company and job postings. So the other use case that we have identified is around interview preparation. So first, I think the obvious one is mock interview panel for job seekers based on volunteers to help them join their company or a similar industry. Here we can motivate the volunteers by some sort of rating process given by LinkedIn as well as job seekers who go through the mock session, which will show on the volunteer's LinkedIn profile as a badge, for example. Now this will give them a sense of accomplishment as well. Second, we can obviously build an interview prep repository based on machine learning and artificial intelligence and integrate it with a voice assistant to train the job seekers. This can get them an actual interview kind of an experience. Another one is around creating a marketplace for mentors and mentees where they can build partnerships for achieving goals of job seeker. The next one that I can think of is a pay it forward sort of a feature where industry leaders like VPs or senior directors to actually have working sessions for a group of job seekers based on same interest, based on same industry, same job title, etc. Next, I would like to use the RISE framework here to prioritize the solutions, where R stands for reach to the customer, I stands for impact of our business goal, C stands for confidence in data, and E stands for effort level. So for solution 2A, which is around building a workflow by integrating with HR systems and users getting a notification, I think the reach to customers is very high. The impact to our overall business goal is high as well. At the same time, the confidence in data is high in this particular case because we are having a 1:1 integration with the HR systems behind the scenes. The level of effort is also high in this particular case because we have to create a new feature here. Next is around creating a better workflow for application tracking, where HRs can update on LinkedIn itself. Again, I think the reach to the customers is very high and the impact to our business goal is high here. However, the confidence data in this particular case will be, let's say, medium because of the fact that we don't know how frequently recruiters will actually update the LinkedIn profiles of different job seekers. And the level of effort in this particular case is very, very low in my opinion. Next one was around using a machine learning model. Now here, I think the reach to the customers is medium. At the same time, the impact to our business goal is medium as well. The confidence in data in this particular case is again going to be medium in my opinion. And lastly, the level of effort is going to be high in this case, because again we need to identify the machine learning goal. In fact, it's going to be medium here because once the machine learning algorithm is written, it can actually train itself again and again on the data that gets generated here. Next one was around building a rating and review process for each company. So I think again here the ratings are medium. Confidence in data is also going to be medium, where because at the end of the day HRs might truly boost a rating of a company, for example. The level of effort for this one is pretty low in my opinion. Next, for solution 4A, where you can create a mock interview panel for job seekers. Again, a new feature, hence the ratings here would be, yes, the reach is very high, yes, the impact to our business goal is very high. Obviously, the confidence in data will be very high for this one, but there is significant level of effort that's required. So it's going to be medium. Now, building an interview prep repository based on machine learning, I think, yes, the reach is going to be extremely high for this one because the candidates will get true interview-like experience. The impact to our business goal is going to be medium here. Confidence in data is also medium, and level of effort is also medium in this particular case. Creating a marketplace tool for mentors and mentee, I think again the ratings will be high, medium. Yeah, the confidence in data will be low in this case again. Level of effort is medium. The paid forward feature, I think this is social responsibility piece. Yes, amazing reach to customers, great impact to value. Confidence in data can be low in this case, and yeah, the level of effort will be medium. So I think based on all this, I'd recommend 2B, where we are creating better workflow for application tracking within LinkedIn. 2C, we are using a machine learning model to predict the percentage chances of a candidate moving forward. 4A, where we create a mock interview panel because of its extreme high value job seekers. And lastly, 4B, where we create an interview prep repository based on machine learning and AI. Again, this is a recommendation based on my own rating. I would love to have much more data on these to rate them. But what data that will be? So there will be certain metrics for success here. Now for problem statement number 2, I think one obvious one is the DAO or MAU, where the number of users who actually logs into LinkedIn and they at least do one of the activity from the solution, where they search, they apply, or they take the suggested prep material. Second one is the average application responses per user. This could be week on week or month on month. Third one is the percentage of users viewing all application responses. Another one could be the average session time per user. Lastly, obviously, is the CTR on the job status notifications. For number 4, first one is the DAO or MAU. The second one is the percentage of users who are using mock interview or coding sessions here. Third one will be the percentage of job conversion based on the mock interview or the panel interviews here. Now, lastly, I think we are in crunch of time here, but one potential trade-off that I can clearly think of here is we might not have feedback from all the users about if they have successfully converted the job. So we need to identify a way to go ahead and rectify this trade-off also. But yeah, that's about it. So overall, we are thinking about improving LinkedIn here, and the 2 use cases that we have identified are based on the fact that 1, we need to make sure that users are not getting updates on their application once they have applied as a job seeker. Second, post the job application, the right interview prep material is not available for users and they have to go through multiple applications outside. So the solutions that we are building are focused on 1, creating a better workflow for application tracking. At the same time, we are using a machine learning model to predict the percentage chances of a particular application moving forward. From the mock interview preparation perspective, we are actually thinking about giving the user the ability to do a panel interview with certain volunteers on the platform, and at the same time we are creating an interview prep repository which is based on machine learning, and users can get a true interview-like experience when they choose this mock interview setting. Obviously, there are certain metrics that we need to take care of. For example, what's the DAO, MAO, what's the percentage of job conversion based on mock or panel interviews.
Thanks. That sounds like a sound reasoning and approach.
Thanks.
Take care and have a good day. Bye.
Bye-bye. Alright, so that was one possible answer to a product improvement question. Now know that just learning the framework isn't enough. You need to be able to apply it in an interview setting as well. Hence, make sure to keep on practicing more and more on these questions. With that said, thank you for your time, everyone. Feel free to put in your ideas, comments, or responses in the comment section down below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one.